Spurs set to reignite interest in Manchester City winger Savinho after making several bids for the player over recent transfer windows. A Swedish team doctor explains why the injury to Kulusevski was such a complicated one and why the injury has taken so long to heal. Tottenham Hotspur are reportedly preparing a renewed move for Summerville after failing to land the Dutch attacker during the January transfer window. And Vuskovic has insisted that speculation over his future is far from his mind, despite growing interest from some of Europe's biggest clubs. Here are your daily Tottenham news headlines. Hello, welcome back to the channel. My name's Craig and here are your daily Tottenham news headlines, where I'll be going through all the latest news, rumours and reports. If you're watching on YouTube and are not already as yet subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. Like, share and comment below. And if you're listening on an audio platform, please do hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. And please make sure you turn on the notification bell so you get notified whenever we go live or upload a video to the channel. Okay, let's get into it. With the summer window approaching, Football.London reports that Spurs look set to reignite interest in Manchester City winger Savinho. The citizens have placed a £60 million price tag on the Brazilian forward, double what they paid Girona when acquiring him in 2024, according to the Daily Mail. The 22-year-old was subject of several bids made by Spurs last summer, but he was kept at the Etihad by Pep Guardiola, unwilling to let him go after being unable to find a replacement. Savinho scored just one league goal in 24 games this season, but has showcased his superb speed and ability to defeat defenders on numerous occasions. Able to flourish on both wings, the signing of the forward would give De Zerbi greater flexibility across the attacking options. Given he was willing to make the move to North London last year, Savinho could and should make the long-awaited move to reignite his career after missing out on Brazil's squad for the World Cup. Swedish national team medical staff have lifted the lid regarding Kulusevski's continued absence. It's been a long story, Swedish doctor Jonas Werner explained via Sportsbladet. Dearman has done everything to get ready to play World Cup football again, the doctor, who has served since 2021, stated. Now, he was not ready. This is because he has not played football for over a year. The medical assessments pointed in one direction due to the unique nature of the knee. They are difficult to treat, Werner clarified regarding patellar complications. Cartilage has no blood supply and no nerves. They do not heal in the usual way. Furthermore, the knee injury sits where immense physical strain occurs. The structural mechanics complicate rehabilitation significantly. The kneecap slides back and forth over the femur, Werner noted. An enormous compressive force is developed. It is likely that his injury has not healed enough for him to cope with that strain yet. Fortunately, the player receives help from the North Londoners to ensure recovery. The medical coaching team remains highly optimistic. He won't give up hope, Werner concluded. He is getting plenty of help from the club and others who are helping him with his rehabilitation. I have good hopes that he will play football again. The Lily Whites desperately need his exceptional top-tier quality back next term. Tottenham Hotspur are reportedly preparing a renewed move for Summerville after failing to land the Dutch attacker during the January transfer window, according to a fresh report from the Netherlands. With West Ham United now facing life in the Championship following relegation, several of their leading players are expected to attract interest from top-flight clubs. Summerville has emerged as one of the most sought-after names, having remained a key figure despite the Hammers' difficult campaign. The report claims that Spurs boss Roberto De Zerbi is keen to strengthen his attacking options this summer and sees the 24-year-old as a player capable of adding pace, creativity and directness to his front line. Tottenham are said to have explored a deal in the winter window but were unable to reach an agreement at the time. However, Spurs are not alone in the race. AS Roma are also pushing strongly for Summerville's signature and reportedly believe they have a realistic chance of persuading him to move to Italy. The Serie A side are understood to be monitoring the situation closely as they look to strengthen their squad ahead of next season. Despite Roma's interest, Tottenham's Premier League status could prove a significant factor in negotiations. Having narrowly secured survival on the final day of the season, Spurs are now embarking on a major rebuild and are expected to be active in the transfer market. Summerville contributed 5 goals and 2 assists in 31 Premier League appearances during the last campaign, and with West Ham preparing for a season in the second tier, the winger could be one of the club's highest profile departures in the coming weeks. Tottenham Hotspur's teenage defensive sensation Luka Vuskovic has insisted that speculation over his future is far from his mind, despite growing interest from some of Europe's biggest clubs. The 19-year-old centre-back, who joined Tottenham from Hajduk Split in a deal worth around £12 million, enjoyed a breakthrough campaign on loan at Hamburg. His performances earned widespread praise after he collected 4 Rookie of the Month awards, scored the Bundesliga Goal of the Year, and was named in the division's Team of the Season. Despite reports linking him with clubs such as Bayern Munich and other European heavyweights, Vuskovic suggested that a return to Hamburg is unlikely, describing the prospect as impossible, even though he would have welcomed another year there. The defender is currently focused on international duty with Croatia national football team ahead of the 2026 World Cup, and he said he has not yet given serious thought to where he will be playing next season. However, Vuskovic did speak positively about new Spurs head coach Roberto De Zerbi, praising the Italian's attacking philosophy and build-up play. The Croatian admitted he is excited by the possibility of working under De Zerbi and remains committed to Tottenham for now, insisting that whatever happens next will be decided in the coming months. Reports suggest that Tottenham's view Vuskovic as a key part of their long-term plans and are keen to time down to an improved contract rather than cash in one of the most highly rated European defenders. With De Zerbi beginning a major rebuild in North London, many within the game believe Vuskovic could soon become one of the cornerstones of Tottenham's future. Okay, here's my thoughts on those stories today. Not a great deal of new news out, but certainly some news. Firstly, a bit of old news, if you like. To start off with Savinho, a player that I've spoke about many, many times. It seemed like Spurs, every transfer window, we're linked with Savinho. And of course, last summer, as we all know, Spurs made a couple of bids, inquired quite robustly for Savinho. Looked like it was going to happen, and then Pep Guardiola put his foot down and said, no, I want to keep him, and of course he signs a new deal. As I've said in previous videos, I'm not convinced that Savinho is top tier quality, great player, 100%, but is he worth £70 million? I've said this before, is he worth £70 million? I'm not so sure. When you look at his numbers, Matisse Tell's numbers are actually better. That's not to say that De Zerbi could definitely improve the player. Would he be better than, for example, Koulibaly? Yes, in my opinion, 100%. But when you're shelling out 70 million, 65 million on Savinho, is that trade, is the money worth it? Is that trade-off worth it? I'll leave that to you guys. Get down in the comments, let me know what you think of Savinho. As I say, I think he's a great young player. He's certainly not the finished article, and this is another occasion where Spurs are, I wouldn't say cheaping out, you can't say £70 million is cheaping out, but are they going in the right direction? Would Savinho transform our attacking line? Get down in the comments and let me know. Second story there, Kulusevski. Really feel for Dejan Kulusevski, obviously working incredibly hard throughout the season. And of course, famously, Ange said it was just a knock, and now Kulusevski's been out for over a year. Obviously missed out on the Europa League final and all of this season, and God, could we have done with him this year. It just goes to show how much we've missed Kulusevski. Gutted for him that he's not playing at the World Cup, but I just hope he can get back fit and play for Spurs next season. I mean, from the doctor there, he seems hopeful that he is going to, but you've seen injuries like this. Sometimes players just don't recover. You know, top tier sportsmen we're talking about here just don't recover well enough to be able to play and cope with the demands of the Premier League. Knees are funny. Believe me, knees are funny if you've ever had a knee injury. I've had enough myself, and although I'm significantly older than Kulusevski, you do never quite recover from knee injuries. They are funny, and I just hope that Kulusevski, he's got the top medical talent you would think in the world looking after him, so let's hope Kulusevski can get back playing. Just a shame for him that he's missing the World Cup, because obviously that must be gutting for him not to be able to represent his country. Quasentio Summerville, interesting one again, a player we've spoken about many times. I would have been a fan of getting him in the January transfer window, but didn't come to pass. Are Spurs going to go in for Summerville again? There's also rumours about Jared Bowen, but I can't honestly see that happening. I'm not sure Danny Dyer would actually let him leave West Ham. But Summerville, again, is that an upgrade on what we've already got? Is he very similar to Wilson Odebear? Is he similar to Matisse Tell? I watched the player when he was at Leeds. I thought he was sensational, but that was when I think it was when Leeds were in a different division. In fact, I think it was, and so obviously levels there. Could De Zerbi again improve Summerville? You would think personally. I can't see us buying both Summerville and Savinho, so it's probably either one or the other. But I think he's a good player, but again, does he take us to the next level? Get down in the comments, let me know what you think of that one. And finally, Luka Vuskovic, again, a story that you're probably familiar with, but it seems like Vuskovic is very, or would be very happy to play under De Zerbi, and that's what the key thing that's coming out from a lot of players, isn't it? That they really love De Zerbi's style of football, they like him. Mickey van der Ven's come out and said that. Van der Ven might even be signing a new contract soon, hopefully. So this is all because we've got the right manager in finally. And you see how the players are responding to that. And the likes of Vuskovic, for me, is the future of the club. And I really hope that De Zerbi looks at him closely in pre-season, and then, who knows, decides, if Romero heads off, does Vuskovic then become the partner to Mickey van der Ven? I think this kid's got a bright future. I think we all know that. Dominant from corners, just a superb defender. Obviously still young in his career and a lot to learn, and has not played in the Premier League yet. But this kid, if we're going to progress, this kid is ready for Premier League football. You can just see it. Obviously, they loved him in Germany, loved him at Hamburg. Wanted to actually go back and play with his brother next season, but as he said, that's going to be a difficult deal to do. But I just hope De Zerbi has a really close look at him in pre-season, and then I would love it if Vuskovic played a big part for us next season. That's all from me today. Get down in the comments, let me know how you're feeling as a Tottenham Hotspur fan right now. And as always, come on you Spurs.